Hey guys, it's me back with another video, and today I am going to be talking about all my favourite makeup products. As you all know, I am living on a budget right now, so all of my makeup in this video will be stuff that you can find at drugstores like Superdrug or Boots. Just a bit of a disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by any of the brands that I'll be talking about in this video. They have all been purchased either by myself or they have actually been gifted to me. Okay, so let's get cracking on with this video. The first product I would like to talk about is this Makeup Revolution Pro Prime Aqua Priming Base. Now, this is in my favourites just because I just feel like priming sprays, if that makes sense, are a lot more hygienic, and personally I just like the way that this feels on my skin. I mean, it leaves a little bit of a tacky residue on my skin, but I actually kind of like that because I feel like my makeup is going to stick to my face and not move. So that is why that is in my favourites. The next product, I know that, this isn't going to really come to much of a shock to a lot of you who've watched my videos. I actually unboxed it in my video before last. Yeah. And it is the MILANI Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. This is honestly my favourite just because this is probably the best coverage foundation I have ever used in my life. In my life of using foundations, this is the best coverage I've come across because I can put it on my face and it covers my freckles, and a lot of foundations just don't cover my freckles. You can still see them, and this one covers them, and I love it for that because I hate it when my freckles show through. I just feel like it ruins the complete look, so I love it for that. It feels lovely on my skin as well, and I also love it just because it is just a beautiful foundation, and it is actually highly recommended by a lot of people, so I would definitely go out and buy this. So the next one is, obviously, you're probably going to think, why would you have a concealer in your favourites when that foundation has concealer in it? It's just because I like a little bit more extra concealer, especially on my dark lines underneath my eyes, and it is the Fit Me by Maybelline. This is an absolutely wonderful concealer. It helps cover things, and it is a tiniest little bit too dark, but I kind of like it because if I am wearing a foundation that's not so covering on my freckles, especially around this area, it helps just to cover them up a lot more, and an all-round good concealer, and it is one of my favourites. The next product is this loose powder, or sheer loose powder by Collection. They are a more cheaper end of drugstore makeup, but this one I especially like to use, especially on the areas that I have used concealer, just to set it down, and it's got the tiniest little bit of pigment. It is a translucent powder, even though it does have the tiniest little bit of pigment, but I feel that that helps as well to like cover things as well. But yeah, it's a really, really nice powder. It's very silky. I don't know if that's the right word, but it does feel incredibly smooth and soft, and it's just really, really nice. I really do enjoy using this on a daily basis. And I'm just going to talk about another powder, which is actually a pressed powder from Rimmel, and it's the Stay Matte Long Lasting powder. This one I like to set my face, the rest of my face that I'm not using on the concealer areas, just because sometimes matte is the way to go sometimes, and this is actually and you can tell how much I like this one because I've actually hit pan on it. So yeah, this is one of my all-time favourites. I really do recommend this one if you want a nice matte or mattifying powder. It really does do the job. Yeah, it is lovely, and actually it's got a bit of coverage to it as well, so it does help with that line, with that department as well. So that it is another reason why. And then moving on to the next step, which is bronzer. Now my bronzer lid has actually broken off, which is a little bit embarrassing. Don't actually know how it ended up broken, but it did, so oh well. And this is actually the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer. Now I have had this for so long, which is another reason why it's in my favourites, because it just has lasted me. I think I've had this for about at least half a year, and normally I would have gone through one and probably like halfway through another bronzer by now. But this one has still lasted me, and I use this every single bloody day. So I really don't understand. I mean, actually, I think I'm just starting to hit the bottom of the pan on this one, in the middle. But with the Makeup Revolution powder products like bronzer, blush, whatever, I do find a little bit goes a very long way, considering I also kind of contour with this one as well. But yeah, I mean, don't know what it is about this bronzer, but I love it. Now, again, this one is fairly new to my collection, and this is actually the MILANI Baked Blush, which if you watch my unboxing video, you would have seen it, and I talked about it more in depth. But yeah, this is definitely my favourite blush right now. I do have a blush palette, but I only like a couple of tones in that palette, so I thought, well, it doesn't really warrant it going into my favourites, because I don't always grab for it every day. This one so far, well, obviously one, because it's new, and obviously it's new, I'm going to be in love with it, but also because it's just B-E-A beautiful. And that was just a bit of a Bruce Almighty quote, couldn't think of his name then. Yeah, this is such a lovely, lovely blush, nearly said bronzer. And I do highly recommend both those MILANI products. Yeah. And all of these products that I'm talking about, I do recommend that you go out and buy them. Obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm just saying. Now, I pretty much only talking about the ones that I actually grab for on an everyday basis kind of thing, so that's why this isn't going to be the most longest video ever. But the next product is actually the Makeup Revolution Eyeshadow Palette Matte 18 Edit, which I use this one every single day. And I know, like, some of you are probably thinking, oh, it's kind of not all that great for shades, but I actually really like it because I'm not all that good with eyeshadow, so I kind of like the neutral shades more. I mean, you do get a couple of shimmery shades in here as well, but I more stick to the neutral, like the nude shades, just to give my eyelids a little bit of colour and a little bit of coverage as well, just to hide any veins or anything that you can still see through any, you know, product to that. So yeah, I mean, you can do either like casual, or you could dress it up a little bit, which I do occasionally try to dress it up, but because I don't think I'm all that good at it, it kind of looks a little bit weird sometimes, so. But I do really like this palette. Now, the next item is a mascara, which is fairly new to Maybelline. I'm not really sure how long it's been out, but I picked it up. I think it first came out over here just recently, and it is the Maybelline Falsies Push Up Angel Mascara. And you know, when I first bought this, I was really confused because I was like, how in the world am I going to use that brush on it? But I started using it, I was like, oh my god, how the hell have, you know, I've been coping with all these other like really thick mascara ones, when this one is just, it's pretty much like a comb. You're pretty much combing your eyelashes, and that is like the most easiest thing to do. The only thing that I'm not so keen on is the fact that it does clump up quite easily. Like if you put too much on, it does clump. And I'm like, I don't want it to like that. But sometimes I don't mind it if it's sort of like at the sort of root of my eyelashes, if you want to call it that. Because it can make it look a little bit more volumized, which I like. And also I find it helps with lengthening my eyelashes as well. I'm not actually talking about an eyeliner in this video, just because I don't really wear eyeliner all that often, so I didn't really feel like it warranted a place in this. But the last product I would like to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Amazing Makeup Fixing Spray. Now if I use this and the priming spray, like obviously prime my face first with it and then apply my makeup and then apply this, it's fine. My makeup just lasts so much more longer with this, and yeah, like I would really definitely buy this. And actually both of these sprays, I mean I'm not going to spray this one because I'm rather running low on that one. I need to get some more, but this one I'm a bit more full on. I'm just going to spritz a bit. And it's actually got quite, I mean, yeah, okay, if you spray it too close to your face, then you are pretty much going to like soak your chest and probably the ends of your hair and all that. But obviously, you know, you're spraying water, like, pretty much on your face. But yeah, they are all my favourites in my collection. I know I kind of whizzed through it very quickly, but I didn't really want to bore people, so I just thought I'd whiz through it and just talk a little bit about it. I'll probably do a video at some point talking a little bit more in depth, but for now they are my favourites. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, I would love it so much if you were to subscribe to my channel, and if you would like to see more videos like this, give me a thumbs up or a comment and I will be more than happy to do more videos like this. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media, which I will leave all my usernames or whatever you want to call it in the description box, and I'll also leave the names of all the products that I've mentioned in the description box as well. As I said, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!